Hey folks, how's it going? Dr. Spin. I got another spin-off post for you guys. Two fantastic albums by fantastic artists, but only one of them can go on to be in my top 20 for 2025. So let's take a look at Charles Mingus, The Black Saint and the Sinner Lady, versus Don Richard and Spencer Zahn, Pigments. Of course, Charles Mingus is a giant in the history of jazz, not only because he was a fantastic musician and a fantastic composer, but also he was a person that challenged the boundaries of the style, often in reaction to the challenges of being a black man in the early 60s, with a strong vision for what music could and should be. Well, let's take this in comparison to Pigments, which is a jazz-adjacent album that kind of floats formlessly between jazz and kind of ambient R&B. And despite having that kind of formless ambient nature, it never seems to lose momentum. It keeps moving forward, and it has several really magical moments that are devastatingly effective despite its sort of soothing exterior. And on a superficial level, these albums are actually very difficult to choose between for me personally, because despite being, different ends of the spectrum, when you talk about Charles Mingus's really transgressive version of jazz versus this more soothing and inviting version, they're both so effective in their own ways, it's difficult to pin it down. And like a lot of other albums that I've listened to this year that prioritize vibe and ambience, this album has really spoken to me in an elusive yet undeniable way. But The Black Saint and the Sinner Lady carries the weight of its social cultural importance. And Charles Mingus adopting the voice of that pressure really gives this album, I think, an importance and an immediacy that Pigments just can't quite carry the same way. So I got to give it to Charles Mingus in this case. So agree or disagree, please sound off below. Then head over to my YouTube channel where I've got more posts on independent artists and classic deep dive reviews.